In the ever-expanding quest to understand the mysteries that lie beyond the stars and beneath the surface of our own planet, we find stories that challenge the limits of our imagination and compel us to question what we know about the world around us. These tales, ranging from unexplained phenomena in the night sky to ancient mysteries rooted deep in the earth, not only captivate our curiosity but also awaken a passion for exploration and discovery. Welcome to the Phantasmal Eternity. Join us as we count down the top 10 unsolved alien abduction mysteries. Let us open our minds to the possibilities that exist at the edge of science and folklore, where truth and mystery intertwine, creating a tapestry of intrigue that spans the cosmos and the depths of human experience. First on our list is Betty and Barney Hill abduction. On a quiet September night in 1961, Betty and Barney Hill were a married couple from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, returning home from a vacation in Canada, driving through the White Mountains of New Hampshire. The Hills were both respected community members. Barney worked for the post office, while Betty was a social worker. Their backgrounds were notably ordinary, which made the extraordinary nature of their claims all the more intriguing to the public and researchers alike. The incident reportedly began late at night on September 19, 1961, when the Hills witnessed a bright light in the sky that appeared to move erratically. Curious and unsettled, they stopped their car and observed the light with binoculars. Barney, in particular, claimed to have seen humanoid figures peering out of the window of what he believed was a flying craft. As the object moved closer, the Hills experienced a period of amnesia. They found themselves driving home on an unfamiliar road, with no memory of the past 2 hours. Over the following days and weeks, both Betty and Barney were tormented by anxiety and unexplained physical symptoms. It was these lingering effects that led them to request the help of Dr. Benjamin Simon, a psychiatrist and neurologist who studied hypnosis, a popular therapeutic technique at the time. Under hypnosis, both Betty and Barney recounted remarkably similar and detailed narratives of being taken aboard an alien spacecraft by beings they described as not human. They spoke of undergoing medical examinations that were both invasive and perplexing. Betty's sessions even yielded a star map she claimed was shown to her by the aliens, detailing their home system. The abduction of Betty and Barney Hill continues to be a landmark event within UFO's logical study. The couple's story opened the floodgates to a wave of alien abduction claims in the ensuing decades, transforming a previously marginal phenomenon into a subject of mainstream fascination and debate. While skeptics continue to question the veracity of the Hills' experience, citing psychological and societal factors as potential explanations, the case stands as evidence of the enduring human fascination with the unknown. Second on our list is the Travis Walton abduction. On November 5, 1975, Travis Walton was a young logger working with a crew near the Apache Sitgreaves National Forests in Arizona. The team had finished their work for the day and were driving home in their truck when they encountered a glowing, saucer-shaped object hovering above the ground. The sight was so unusual and compelling that Walton impulsively left the truck to get a closer look. What followed was a beam of light from the object striking Walton, and he disappeared from his crewmates' view, prompting a panic and a swift departure from the scene. The initial response to Walton's disappearance was one of suspicion and disbelief. Walton's crewmates, who reported the incident, were subject to suspicion and even underwent polygraph tests to verify their accounts. They passed. Meanwhile, Walton was missing for 5 days, during which time a search ensued, involving law enforcement and community members, but no trace of him was found. When Walton reappeared, he had a remarkable story to tell. He claimed to have been taken aboard the UFO, where he encountered 3 types of beings: humanoid and significantly more human-like than the typical descriptions of aliens at the time. He described waking up on a table in a strange room, the feeling of suffocation, and his interactions with these beings, who he felt were examining him. The Travis Walton abduction case transcends the mere question of its factual basis, inviting a deeper reflection on the nature of belief, the limits of human knowledge, and the vast mysteries of the universe that remain unexplored. Whether one views Walton's experience as a genuine encounter with extraterrestrial intelligence or as a product of the human psyche, the case remains a compelling narrative in the search for understanding beyond our earthly constraints. Third on our list is the Antonio Vilas Boas abduction. He was a 23-year-old farmer working in the fields of his family's farm in São Francisco de Sales, Brazil, when his story began. It was October 16, 1957, and Boas was plowing fields at night to avoid the scorching daytime temperatures. What started as a solitary, mundane task soon escalated into an extraordinary and life-altering experience. Boas reported seeing a red star in the night sky, which grew in size and approached him, revealing itself to be an egg-shaped aerial craft with a rotating light. He attempted to flee, but was captured by beings from the craft. They were small, wearing gray coveralls and helmets, their eyes covered with glasses. Boas was taken aboard their craft, where he underwent a series of medical examinations, including blood samples being taken and being exposed to some kind of gas, which left him violently ill. One of the most sensational aspects of Boas' account was his claim of a forced mating with a female being, whom he described as attractive but with distinctive alien features. Boas suggested that this encounter was for the purpose of creating a hybrid offspring, a notion that has become a recurring theme in later abduction narratives. The Antonio Vilas Boas abduction case remains one of the most debated and dissected in ufology. It introduced the world to a complex narrative that combined elements of fear, fascination, and the unknowable intentions of purported extraterrestrial visitors. Regardless of one's stance on the veracity of Boas' encounter, it undeniably contributed to the shaping of modern alien abduction lore. Fourth on our list is the Allagash Waterway abduction. In the summer of 1976, 4 art students embarked on an adventure that led them to an encounter of the third kind, one that would forever alter their perception of reality. Chuck Rack, Charlie Foltz, and the Wiener brothers, Jack and Jim, sought the tranquility of nature but found themselves at the center of a perplexing phenomenon. Their journey into the dense forests of Maine was meant to be a break from the hustle of life, an opportunity to connect with the wilderness. Little did they know, their excursion would turn into an experience that transcended the bounds of the known world. The incident began with the sighting of a strange, bright object across the night sky, which the group initially mistook for a helicopter. However, its odd behavior and brilliant illumination suggested it was something far more mysterious. Deciding to signal the object with a flashlight, their action seemingly triggered a response, with the object moving closer, enveloping them in a beam of light. What followed next was a lost period of time, a common hallmark in abduction narratives, which they could not account for. It was only years later, under hypnosis, that the 4 men recovered memories of being taken aboard the unidentified flying object by non-human entities. They described undergoing medical examinations by beings that communicated through telepathy, an experience that left them with deep psychological scars. The Allagash Waterway abduction case stands as a compelling narrative within the tapestry of UFO abduction lore. It challenges our understanding of reality, the reliability of human memory, and the possibility of non-human intelligence. The event's impact on the witnesses, coupled with the absence of any apparent motive for fabrication, lends a certain gravitas to their claims. Fifth on our list is the Pascagoula abduction. On a tranquil October evening in 1973, in the quiet fishing waters near Pascagoula, Mississippi, Charles Hickson, a 42-year-old shipyard employee, and Calvin Parker, a 19-year-old co-worker, decided to spend their evening fishing off a pier on the Pascagoula River. Their anticipation of a peaceful night was shattered when they encountered an unusual, oval-shaped object emitting blue lights. This object, they claimed, hovered above them and emitted a buzzing sound, marking the beginning of an experience that would change their lives forever. According to Hickson and Parker, 3 strange beings with robotic appearances and smooth, pale skin emerged from the craft. These beings had no visible eyes, ears, or mouths, but instead featured pointed noses and ears, and they communicated through a form of telepathy. The men reported being paralyzed and floated aboard the craft, where they underwent examinations conducted by these beings and other, more mechanical devices. The immediate skepticism that met their story was countered by Hickson and Parker's apparent genuine distress and fear. They voluntarily submitted to questioning by the police and the press, and Hickson underwent hypnosis and polygraph tests, which he passed, lending credence to their tale. Parker, deeply traumatized, initially sought to avoid the spotlight, further adding a layer of complexity to the duo's credibility. The Pascagoula abduction case stands as a testament to the enduring mystery and fascination surrounding UFO encounters and alien abductions. The detailed description of the entities involved and the emotional impact on the witnesses set this case apart. Regardless of one's belief in the veracity of Hickson and Parker's account, the incident underscores the profound effect such experiences can have on individuals and the cultural imagination at large. 6th on our list is the Manhattan transfer abduction. Linda Cortile Napolitano, a resident of Manhattan, claimed to have been abducted from her apartment by extraterrestrial beings in the early hours of November 30, 1989. Unlike typical abduction scenarios, which often occur in secluded, rural areas, Linda's story is set against the backdrop of New York City's skyscrapers and sleepless streets. Her account was brought to public attention by Bud Hopkins, a prominent UFO researcher and abduction investigator, who detailed the case in his book, Witnessed: The True Story of the Brooklyn Bridge UFO Abductions. Napolitano's account describes how she was levitated from her closed bedroom window into a hovering UFO, in full view of the Brooklyn Bridge. This remarkable assertion was allegedly corroborated by several independent witnesses, including 2 United Nations security officers and a senior political figure, who were said to be driving across the Brooklyn Bridge at the time. These witnesses reportedly provided written statements to Hopkins, under the condition of anonymity, claiming to have observed the abduction event. The Manhattan transfer abduction remains a polarizing chapter in the study of UFO encounters and alien abduction narratives. It serves as a provocative reminder that such experiences are reported not just in remote locations but can be claimed to occur right in the heart of our bustling urban centers. Whether one views Linda Cortile Napolitano's story as a compelling account of extraterrestrial contact or a complex psychological enigma, it undeniably enriches the tapestry of human experiences with the unknown. 7th on our list is the Kelly Hopkinsville encounter. The encounter began on the evening of August 21, 1955, when members of the Sutton family and their friends gathered at the family farmhouse in Kelly. The calm of the night was shattered when one of the family members reported seeing a strange, glowing object land in a nearby field. Shortly thereafter, the household was besieged by small, humanoid beings with distinct features: large heads, oversized eyes, and pointed ears, moving with a peculiar, floating gait. The Sutton family described the beings as aggressively curious, repeatedly approaching the house, peering in through windows and doors, despite being repelled by gunfire from the household's defenders. The family reported the being's skin to be reflective, almost metallic, with shots seemingly having no effect on them. This prolonged encounter lasted several hours, with the family barricaded inside, fearing for their lives. Law enforcement officials and a photographer from the local newspaper investigated the site both during and after the incident. They found evidence of the encounter in the form of physical disturbances to the property and eyewitness accounts from neighboring properties corroborating the sighting of strange lights in the sky. The Kelly Hopkinsville encounter remains one of the most fascinating cases of potential extraterrestrial contact, not only because of the number of witnesses involved but also because of its duration and intensity. It highlights the human capacity for fear and the instinct to protect one's home and family, as well as the challenges of interpreting experiences that lie beyond the ordinary. Eighth on our list is the Zimbabwe school encounter. On a sunny September day in 1994, an event unfolded at the Ariel School in Ruwa, Zimbabwe, that would challenge the boundaries of the conceivable and ignite worldwide interest. Over 60 schoolchildren witnessed an extraordinary phenomenon that not only left an indelible mark on their lives but also became one of the most compelling and well-documented cases in ufology. Ruwa, a small town situated approximately 22 kilometers from Harare, Zimbabwe, became the focal point of international attention when students at the Ariel School reported seeing a flying object and strange beings during their morning break. What sets this encounter apart is not only the number of witnesses but also their ages. The children ranged from 5 to 12 years old, providing descriptions of the event with remarkable consistency and detail. The children recounted seeing a silver craft descend and land in a nearby area not visible from the school buildings but from their outdoor play area. Shortly thereafter, they described seeing one or more strange beings, creatures unlike humans, near the craft. These beings were said to have communicated with some of the children telepathically, imparting messages of environmental stewardship and caution. Psychiatrist Dr. John Mack, a professor at the Harvard Medical School who is a leading expert on the phenomenon of alleged alien abductions, conducted extensive interviews with the children. His investigation aimed to discern the authenticity of their accounts, exploring the psychological and sociological aspects of their experiences. The children's drawings and descriptions showcased a remarkable consistency in their accounts, with details that defied easy dismissal as the product of imagination or mass hysteria. The Zimbabwe school encounter remains a landmark case in the study of unexplained aerial phenomena, notable for the credibility of the young witnesses and the depth of the investigation it inspired. Skeptics have suggested psychological phenomena or cultural influences may explain the incident, yet no definitive explanation has been universally accepted. Ninth on our list is Ille Moore alien abduction. The mist-shrouded landscapes of Ille Moore, located in West Yorkshire, England, have long been steeped in mystery and folklore. In December 1987, a former police officer experienced an encounter that would challenge the boundaries of belief and skepticism. On an early morning, while navigating the rugged terrain of Ille Moore to photograph the sunrise, the former police officer, who has chosen to remain anonymous for privacy reasons, claimed to have encountered a small, green being on the path ahead. The encounter led to an alleged abduction experience that would have profound implications for the witness and the wider UFO research community. The witness managed to take a photograph of the being before it disappeared, an action that precedes a claimed loss of consciousness and subsequent abduction. According to the witness's account, he found himself aboard an alien spacecraft, undergoing a series of examinations conducted by beings that did not match the appearance of the initial entity encountered on the moor. The narrative includes detailed descriptions of the craft's interior and the technology that was apparently used on him. The investigation into the Ille Moore case involved analyzing the photograph, the witness's account, and the site of the encounter. UFO researchers and skeptics alike have scrutinized the photograph for evidence of tampering or misidentification, with inconclusive results. The credibility of the witness, given his background in law enforcement, added a layer of complexity to the case, challenging dismissive explanations based on hoax or hallucination. The Ille Moore alien abduction case encapsulates the enduring intrigue of alien abduction narratives, standing as a testament to the complex interplay between human perception, reality, and the unknown. While skeptics point to the lack of physical evidence beyond the photograph and the inherent difficulties in verifying the abduction claim, believers see the case as a significant piece of the puzzle in understanding extraterrestrial visitations. The 10th and final on our list is the Val Johnson incident. In the quiet, early hours of a 1979 August night, a solitary patrol car driven by Deputy Val Johnson of the Marshall County Sheriff's Department in Minnesota became the centerpiece of one of the most intriguing and well-documented encounters in ufology. The Val Johnson incident, unlike many tales of unexplained phenomena, is bolstered by physical evidence and a highly credible witness, weaving a narrative that challenges skeptics and believers alike. Deputy Val Johnson was on routine patrol near Warren, Minnesota, when he encountered a bright light hovering above the road. As he drove towards it, the light rapidly approached his vehicle, leading to a collision that damaged the patrol car and inflicted physical effects on Johnson himself. What makes this case particularly compelling is the aftermath. A damaged vehicle, a disrupted clock, and a law enforcement officer left with temporary eyesight issues, all documented and subjected to a thorough examination. The investigation into the incident involved multiple levels of inquiry, from local law enforcement to the Federal Aviation Administration and even the Ford Motor Company, which examined the patrol car for clues to the cause of the damage. The vehicle displayed a bent antenna, a cracked windshield, and additional impacts that seemed inconsistent with a conventional collision. Furthermore, both the car's clock and Johnson's wristwatch had stopped for 14 minutes, adding an eerie detail to the encounter. The Val Johnson incident stands out in the landscape of UFO encounters for its tangible evidence and the unimpeachable credibility of its witness. It serves as a reminder that not all unexplained phenomena can be easily dismissed or explained away by conventional means. This case encapsulates the intersection of human experience with the unknown, highlighting the limits of our understanding and the potential for reality to exceed our wildest imaginations. As we conclude our exploration of the unknown, we are reminded that the universe is filled with more mysteries than we could unravel in a lifetime. Each story we've encountered serves as a beacon, guiding us through the vast expanse of human curiosity and our eternal quest for understanding. While some questions may eventually find their answers, others will remain shrouded in the mists of time and space, forever challenging us to look deeper, think broader, and dream bigger. Let these mysteries inspire us to continue our search for knowledge, for in the pursuit of the unknown, we find not just answers, but a deeper appreciation for the marvels of the universe and our place within it. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Phantasmal Eternity channel for new content. Until next time, thank you for journeying with us.